Hi, everyone. All right. I'm so happy to do this live. As you all know, for those of you that will be watching the replay, just remember that I will put down below when the video actually starts, since when we do lives, it does take a couple minutes for people to join and so on. So for those of you that are joining, welcome. Tell me where you're from. Tell me you're here. And let me know that, hey, Mike, let me know that you can hear me okay as well, please, because I have my headphones in. So I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Say yes in the comments, please. Hi, guys. Hey there. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. I see that you can hear me loud and clear. Awesome, awesome. All right, so as you guys know, for those of you that either follow me on Instagram or if you guys are part of my email list, I am talking about a very requested topic, I should say, and it's about how and when to show feelings to a woman. I did a survey on today's on the YouTube community. I think it was like 3 days ago, and I asked you guys to vote on what you wanted this live to be about. And I'm really happy that a lot of you voted this, because this is something that is so important when it comes to dating, attraction, and not something a lot that people go into. So in today's live, I'm going to do a Q&A. And I'm also going to go into how and when to show feelings, the do's and don'ts of that, and also answer some Q&As, of course. But before we get started, I want to remind you that my New York Bootcamp, the Authentic Attraction Bootcamp, is July 6th in New York City. If you are in New York and you haven't signed up for this, I really encourage you to do so. I'm going to drop the link here in the notes, and let me know where everybody's from. I want to know if you're from New York. If not, that's okay too. I'll be in LA soon. I'm going to put the link here for everybody. Las Vegas. Awesome. Hi, Rodriguez from Las Vegas. Phoenix, Arizona. John. Hi, Phoenix. I mean, wow, I've been to Phoenix, Arizona. I love it there. Diana. Hi, Diana. From Virginia, New York. Awesome. New York City, New Jersey area. So for all those people that are in New York, I want you to try to come to my boot camp. This is literally a very intense boot camp, but I do everything with you. How to communicate with women. I really get you to understand the mind of a woman, and also get you to understand how to pick up a woman the right way if you are single, and also talk about communicating effectively when you're single or in a relationship and things like that. So I put the link in the comment box there so you guys can check it out. There's a bunch of testimonials, a bunch of videos about the actual boot camp, so you guys can see that. Because I would love to see you and get a chance to meet you face to face. All right, perfect. So I want to go into today's topic. Again, if you guys are watching the replay when you do watch this video, or if you need to go in the middle of this video, I will put on the comments below when this video actually starts, so you can start getting the advice and things that you need. All right, so how and when to show feelings to a woman when you are dating her, okay? So this is really important to understand. What I'm talking about is the attraction stages when you start dating a woman, okay? And it all depends on how and when you say this, and when you say it, how you express feelings, and how you show her that you want something more, let's just say, or maybe you want something more and you just don't know how to communicate it. And I'm gonna talk about right now the don'ts. And then we're also going to go over the do's and how to do it. So first, I want to talk about the don'ts and what we don't do, and what I see a lot of men doing that does not end up being effective for them, or they end up falling in friend zone, or the woman just ghosts them or walks away, or whatever the case may be. I want to give you some further clarification on why this may be happening to you. And also, if you're dating a woman, this is going to give you clarity on what you should do moving forward, and hopefully give you the understanding of how you manage your feelings and emotions moving forward with this woman, so you can cultivate that relationship or whatever you want with her. So a lot of times when men meet a woman they like, it could be a man that gets woman, but all of a sudden he's like, man, this one girl, there's something about her that I just really like. And then you're just like, but I don't know how to act. Apollonia, I always know how to act in front of women, but when I really like a woman, I don't know how to act. How common is that, right? That is so common, and everybody is struggling with the same thing. So a lot of times, and I start with this because a lot of times when we put a woman on a pedestal, because you've never had a girl like this before, right? So when you're telling yourself, I've never had a girl like this before, you're literally putting pressure on yourself to perform and to somewhat overcompensate, right? So when you start to put pressure on yourself, or you put a woman on your video, excuse me, on the pedestal, and you start thinking more about her, as far as you start predicting this whole story in your head of what could be with her, what it could to be to have sex with her, what it could be to have a relationship with her, and you start attaching to the fantasy, what you're doing is you're really putting her on a pedestal, right? So what we have to do is, just because you've never gotten a woman like that, or you know, uh, dated a very attractive woman like her, or a woman that's independent like her, or very strong-minded like her, whatever the case may be, whatever attracts you, then what happens here is, when you do this, you're consciously or subconsciously putting her on a pedestal. So then in your mind, what happens in your mind is, when you do that, you go into the prove mentality. I got to prove myself to her. I've got to do this to her, right? I've got to show her that I'm qualified enough, when you have to go in it and say that I'm already qualified to get a woman like this. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to do that in the do's. The next thing is, I just see what a lot of men do is, they tell her what you particularly want from her without getting a chance to get to know her, right? So, you tell her, like, I want to have a relationship with you, or you're not a girl that I've ever dated before, you're special. And you start to embrace all of these compliments to her, but yet you haven't even got the chance to get to know her, right? So this could be in the first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks even, and you're just gutting out all your feelings for this woman, and you're like, oh God, you're so beautiful, I've never had a girl like you, I would really like to settle down with you, or I'm not going to date anybody else but you, I'm going to give you my full attention. You're just giving too much too early on, and women don't want that. Okay, when you have a beautiful woman, and I want to be very open and honest and candid with you guys, because I don't sugarcoat stuff. When you have a woman that's a 10, and a woman that gets guys, and a woman that literally is just beautiful, and she's like one of those head turners every time she walks away, that is not going to work with her. That's boring to her, because that's what every man does to her. She wants to work for something just as much as men do want to have that fight. They want to feel like they have to fight for a woman because she's different than anybody else. So just like women, they want to know that you're of substance, and that you carry yourself, and you have standards, and you have self-integrity, and you have all of that. And that comes from pacing yourself and not jumping into things. Because what happens is, when you do this, one of the don'ts that I'm talking about, and you tell her how you feel about her, but you don't get a chance to get to know her, what happens is, she thinks that you're possibly insecure about something. Also, it doesn't show confidence that you'll be able to handle a woman like her. And also, too, it gives away a sense of control for yourself, right? And it gives her a huge sense of control. And a woman, no matter what, if she's independent or whatever, she wants that masculine energy. She wants that masculine embrace. And part of that is by the pace. Part of that is by the assertiveness. Part of that is by the chill. And we're going to go into a lot more about that. The chill mentality and the I don't care attitude. And I always talk about this. I always put I don't care in quotations, because it's not truly that you don't care. It's just the fact of the vibe that you're giving off, that you're just kind of going with the flow. And you're also figuring out what this woman is all about. Because what a lot of men tend to do, or just general people, what they tend to do is, of course, like, nobody wants to be lonely, right? No, nobody wants to like live a life without love, unless, and there's a lot of people that actually do. I can take that back. But if you want to live a life with love, and you want a companionship, or you want that meaningful relationship, that affection, that touch, what happens is we start settling if we don't have that for a while, or if we're just like, I guess this is all that's out there. So what happens is, you're putting yourself in a state of lack, and you're putting yourself in a state of scarcity, and you're not in that abundance mind frame. So you're impacting women from your insecurities. And women, I tell you this all the time, if you come to my boot camps, I explain this like to the T of how a woman's brain works and why that turns her off, and emotionally how to affect her the right way. So I'm going to give you a couple examples of this. So insecurities can get the best of you if you don't control your lack or your scarcity mindset. And a lot of people are like, Apollonia, well, how do I control this? How do I do this? What do I have to do? Okay, well, I can guide you there. And we do this through coaching sessions and everything. But it's really, in reality, it's a choice that you're willing to make. You have to choose when you want to start to turn this around and start to work on yourself and see yourself as a man that has everything going for himself and has a lot to offer a woman. When you come in that abundance and that presence, women can feel that energy. So this is one of the example of a negative emotion that a man might say to a woman when he has feelings for her is, it has feelings for her, but has insecurities too. And making them really aware of them. He might say, you make me feel alone. Insert a negative emotion there. So I want you to think of this. You make me feel, and then insert a negative emotion of what you would typically say to a woman if you feel like she's not reciprocating or she doesn't like you enough. And then you start to get emotional, which is the feminine energy, too early on. So you make me feel alone. Well, just by you saying that is giving her so much control over you, the relationship, and doesn't give her anything to fight for. Women want that integrity. They want that security. And a lot of men think security is, okay, I'm going to supply her with this. I'm going to fight for her if I need to. I'll stick up to this guy and I'll punch him in the face if he ever says anything. That's not security. Security is the secureness that you have in yourself, not the insecurity, the secureness that you have within yourself. So the moment you say, you make me feel alone, now you're coming from a state of lack. You're giving this woman a huge state of responsibility. And she's like, how am I making you feel alone? I'm just doing my thing. And then it comes in the defense, like she's just debating. Another thing is, I want to voice this, right? Is really important is don't get it twisted with assertiveness and showing your feelings when it comes to this. So I'm going to give you two examples here. Imagine if you tell a woman, I want you to hear the difference. You make me feel alone. Okay. No one makes you feel anything. Remember that. No one makes you feel anything. You choose to feel alone because you've given her the control to make you feel this way. Plain and simple. Here's instead is the abundance mindset tone that comes in. Okay. And it's, it's this. My concern is you're always out. And, if it's something that you enjoy doing, maybe you're not the right match for me. So instead of you saying you make me feel alone and giving her control, you just say, my concern is that you're always out and I'm not too sure that you're maybe the right match for me. Boom, you're putting yourself back up here. You are in control and you're coming from a place of self-integrity, and then that's where a lot of times communication when it comes to attraction is killed because we're basing it off of our insecurities and our feelings too early on instead of looking at it as if you're addressing something. As far as my concern is blank, and I'm not too sure if this is a good idea, or I'm not too sure if this is a good match, or tell me more about why you do this, right? So those are the things that I want you to understand when it comes to the feeling stages of a relationship and how you voice your concerns when it comes to that, and not being too much in the feeling, but more being assertive, but direct as well. So that does not kill that attraction and things like that. So another thing that we're going to go into about another point that I commonly hear a lot too is don't be overly sensitive when expressing your feelings to her. So that kind of goes with what I'm saying. So overly sensitive can look like, you make me feel this way and I don't like it when you do this because I want you to be this way and I want to have this and I want to do this. And it's the I mentality. So I don't want you to be overly sensitive, because when you become overly sensitive, and this is again, in the beginning, attraction phases, guys, okay? I'm not talking about in a relationship or anything. This is the beginning and attraction phases. When you become overly sensitive, the right woman and the wrong woman can take advantage of this, right? And we don't know who's like, we don't know the person that walks by us on the sidewalk. We don't know the person really that is in the elevator with us. It takes time to know people because people are all in all different stages of their lives and they might not be the right match for us. So why I say this is because you so many people need to understand that they can control their own emotions with understanding that they have to get to know someone before they give that sense of emotion and sensitivity, right? Someone has to be deserving to see the vulnerability, right? So a lot of times we go into it and we're like, I got to be vulnerable with this woman. I got to show her my feelings because then she's going to see that I'm a respectable man, and that's what she wants because this is what the blog content says on when I Google how to show feelings, and this Google blog is written by a blogger that all they do is write, but they don't have any relationship experience or not a relationship expert themselves. And that's where we get it wrong, right? So I want you guys to understand that it's really important that vulnerability is so effective, but when you are past that attraction phase. And this is what comes into, and I'm going to talk about a little bit of how here. I want you to also think, there's a difference between liking a woman and also, expressing your feelings for her. So you can say to a woman, yeah, I like you. I think you're a good time. I enjoy spending time with you. Completely different. But when you tell a woman like, I really like you. I feel this strong connection with you and I would like to see where this would go. Are you looking for a relationship? And you're overly compensating and you're overly talking about this more than she is. This is going to push sometimes a woman away. Okay. So I want you to take baby steps in these first attraction stages. Again, I'm going to reiterate. We are talking about the attraction phase when you like a woman and you start to date her. Okay. So now let's go into this. Okay. Another thing I see is you act like a friend to her and you act as though you only act as though you are interested in her, but in a friendly way. Okay. So you can't ever show feelings to a woman if you think that, okay, I'm going to be friendly with her right now. I'm going to be friends with her. I'm going to act friendly with her. I'm not going to escalate. I'm not going to make any moves. And then 2 or 3 months later, I'm just going to voice my opinion and I'm going to tell her how I feel about her because that's what she needs. She needs the friend first. And then I'm going to then 2 months later tell her I'm interested when I can't hold it anymore, when I can't hold it in anymore. And I just need to tell her that I like her and I want to be with her. And I've been friends with her for 3 months and I've been such a respectful, good guy. And that doesn't work, guys. Okay. That does not work. That's what gets you into the friend zone, which I'm going to be talking about at the end of this live, a little thing that I've created for you guys. But this gets you in the friend zone. So if you act like a friend only and you're like in this mind frame, like I have to make her interested, but the way that I'm going to make her interested is by being a friend and in a friendly way, it's not going to work. Okay. It's just not going to work like that because women are sexually excited just like men are, submissive or not. Okay. So and the reason why I say this is because she doesn't want you to hand over responsibilities of control to her. Okay. So an example is, I have feelings for you. Typically when a man says this, a woman thinks he's going to typically when a man says this, he thinks a woman's going to jump and say, oh, I have feelings for you too. And let's be together. Let's be in a relationship. No, you have to create something before that actually happens. And this is what I'm going to talk about. So now that I've kind of dissected most common don'ts that I see a lot of men doing, especially the friend card where I'm going to respect her. I'm going to be her friend. And then they think like, okay, now 3 weeks or a month or 2 months later, I'm going to tell her how I feel about her. But what happens is you build up all of this stuff and you get nervous when you tell her and you're already this friend. And the reason why you are telling her that you like her more than just a friend is because you can't take it anymore and it's getting the best of you. And that's not how you should do it. You got to go in right from day one, guys. Okay. So another thing I always say in my videos is women, when we go on dates with you, we don't even know what we want from you. Like literally, we don't know if we want to have sex with you yet. We don't know if we want to be in a relationship with you yet. We don't know if we want to have a fun time with you yet. We don't know SHIT, okay? because it's the feeling that you create for us. When a man goes into it, it's like, yeah, she's hot. I would probably statistically saying, let me just throw some statistics out there. Typically, when you put a woman in front of a man, and maybe like in anywhere from a 7 to a 10 or a 6 to 10, 80% of men would be like, yeah, I would probably sleep with her if they're in that time of their life where they want to have it, right? And they want to do that. But with women, it's not like that. You have to create something for us to make that decision, either if we want to be with you or if we want in a relationship or if we want to sleep with you. And that's where we get it wrong, right? We think that, okay, men sometimes think, okay, if this girl's going on a date with me, this means that she likes me. Or if this girl's going on a date with me, then I've got to, I got to put all my cookies in one basket, I should say, or I got to put so much emphasis in proving that I'm the right guy to her. But that's not what I'm saying. And that's not what I want you to ever do with women, because women don't know what they want in the beginning. You create that feeling for them. So here's the thing is you have to make her feel sexually attracted to you. Okay. Even if a woman even if a woman wants to hold out on sex until she's in a relationship or until she's in a marriage, guys, doesn't matter. Culturally, I coach internationally all over the world. Women still want to feel sexually attracted to you no matter what. A woman decides on how you make her feel. Women don't want you to be their friends and get to know them for a long time and then you express feelings. What they want you to do is they want you to express escalation, courting. They want you to be in your masculine presence and not diminish your sexuality for women, really. And I'm going to go into explaining a lot of this a little bit more, okay? So typically a girl does not want to hear about a guy's feelings until she's really honestly, and guys, this is with the modern day dating world, okay? Typically a girl does not want to hear about feelings until she has sex with him or has adapted a chemistry, an emotional chemistry with him. And there's two parts here, okay? Because I'm talking about two different women. So because I do coach internationally and I have a Muslim community, I have I have a community from all over the world, and I understand the different culture, excuse me, that comes into play when it comes to attraction. So that's why I want to give you two things so I can affect everybody that's watching here. All right. So one of the biggest things that I want to mention here is typically in the modern, let's just say America, women are more open to sex. And if you can create that sexual connection and attraction with a woman, and you see that she's open to it, she will probably be able, she's open sexually with you and she's flirting with you and it can lead to sex. My idea for you, and if you do like this girl to be in a relationship with her, I always say like, take your time, pace yourself. But the biggest thing here is, I think when it comes to this, voicing your feelings, right? You can tell a woman that you're into her, she's sexy, things like that. But voicing what you want from her, if you want that relationship from her, I would always say to do this for you men when you do, if she's open to having sex before a relationship or if she wants to have sex to solidify a relationship, right? So that's one. And then two, if you are dealing with a woman that wants to have sex with marriage or you have to wait or whatever the cultural things may be, you have to have that emotional chemistry, right? And a lot of men think, okay, I'm going to have this emotional chemistry, meaning I'm going to listen to her. I'm going to respect her. Yes, you should listen to her and respect her, of course. The same thing she should do for you. But you also want to show her that you are sexually intrigued by her. Just because you're not going to have sex with her doesn't mean that you can't show her that you're sexually intrigued by her by calling her sexy, by asking her little things about sexuality, how she feels about public affection, flirting with her, touching her lower waist, pinching her butt as you guys are dating more. You don't want to diminish your sexuality just because you're trying to respect her, because there's a difference between respecting a woman, but also when she attracts you, being connected with her sexually, right? And I have an escalation cheat sheet that I'm going to be coming out with soon, and I'll tell you guys about this. And I actually talk a lot about this. Next thing I want to mention too is the only time when you show feelings, to a woman before you actually sleep with her. The only time that I would really advise you to show feelings before you either sleep with her or sexually, emotionally connect with her is when you're dealing with a really insecure woman, right? Okay, so are out there. Some women are out there and they're just really insecure and they come across a really well-rounded, good-looking guy and they're like, "Why me? Why are you choosing me?" Like, and you see the insecureness in them, right? If this happens, I do tell you to validate a woman like that, right? And just say like, "Listen, I like you. Chill. Like, let's go with the flow. Let's see how things go. I actually do like you." That's the only time that I would say, like, show your feelings a little bit more. Like, I'm looking maybe for something more from you. So let's see how this goes. Is when a woman is very insecure, and you men can feel when a woman is very insecure because of the way she acts, or maybe she is very open about it. Typically, when women are really open about it, typically when women are insecure, they're pretty open about this. Okay, guys. So I want you to understand, like, that's probably the one time I would say, all right, just tell her what your end goal is if she measures up to it. Right. So that's the thing, is you want to do that. And also too, like, a lot of women, another thing that just came to mind that I would tell you to express feelings in is a lot of high value women. Um, okay. So I've seen situations, take a step back so I can explain this thoroughly. I've seen situations where you probably would have known a woman back in your days, or she's heard about you through the grapevine or whatever, and she thinks that you're a player, right? Or maybe you're at a time in your life where you had some pull, but now you're looking to really just settle down, and you actually like her. Um, a high value woman is going to question your intentions if you have that type of, what's the word I'm looking for? If that is part of your past, right? So she's going to question your intentions. And if that's the case, if that has happened to you and she questions you like, but you were a player. Like, I feel like you're a player. When a woman tells you that, like, validate that. No, I'm actually I used to be, probably, I had my fun times back in the day. I'm not denying that. Own that. That's part of your sexuality, guys. Like, own that shit. Excuse my French, but it gets me like so, like, well, that's what women want, guys. Like, women want you guys to own that power, but yet come back and rebuttal and be assertive and demand what exactly it is that you want. Yeah, I used to have my days and I had my fair share of days, but that was a part of my past. I'm here in the present moment and I grew from that. I want something more substantial. I want something better than what I had before. When you come from that, and that's a shit test too that women will give you. It's like, literally, you've passed with flying colors. And this is what I say, like, come from integrity, come from abundance. Next is, women want to feel lucky that they're getting a guy. They don't want to feel like they're getting the same boring guy, right? So, for instance, like, when I was dating back then, a lot of men, like, I would date, in the first or second date, I would know that they wanted to rush into something with me because they didn't pace themselves. They didn't pace themselves. And I would seriously sometimes test them and say things like, I'm going to give you guys something I used to always tell men. I used to tell men when I was dating them, when I noticed that they were really, really into me, that I'm not too sure if I'm really looking for something. But yet when I met them, or if it was like online dating or anything like that, like, they were like looking for a relationship, looking for blah, 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 and I'd be like, I'm not too sure what I'm looking for, because I wasn't they asked me the question too early on, and I didn't know I didn't know exactly what I wanted from them. And they'd be like, yeah, me too. And I'd be like, okay, very passive. So the difference here is just like, when a girl, if you are asking a girl, what are you looking for? And then she replies and you're like, yeah, me too. Then it's one, you should never ask that question really on, excuse me, you should ask that question, but it's about kind of like how you reply to it. So if you're looking for something more, then it's more like, oh, okay. Good to know. Or you can just say, excuse me, you can say, oh, okay, good to know. But I'm looking for something with substance. I'm looking for a woman with integrity, a woman of independence, and a woman on a purpose. Like, that shows that a man has a plan. That shows that a man is not scared to be upfront with me, and just also challenge me to be like, okay, well, then it gets me thinking, am I a woman with a plan? am I a woman on purpose? I wonder if he sees me as a woman as a purpose. So now he's putting himself on a pedestal. And naturally, what people do is when people do that, you're automatically, your mind starts to think, am I that person? Am I there? So now she starts to try to qualify herself for you. You see the difference, guys? Um, all right, so now I want to go into one more thing, and then we're going to go into the do's on how to do this. Is I want to talk about how you tell a girl that you like her, right? In the beginning. Let's just say um, you have feelings for her and you want to date her or you want to sexually escalate with her. A lot of times men think like, I've got to, like I said, be friends with her first and then I'm going to tell her, or I'm just going to go with the flow of things and see what happens. No, like, here's the thing, guys, is what I want you to remember is I want you to remember that women want you to be direct. Okay. Women want you to be direct. Do what makes you feel nervous. When you have that, okay, so there's a time when you're on a date. I know you guys can understand this. When you're on a date and you're like, if I wasn't too shy, I would definitely have said this. Well, then that's what I want you to say, right? Because women want that guy that gets straight to the point, right? He gets straight to the point. You walk in on a first date and she's wearing this really nice tight red dress. You know, she didn't wear this tight red dress just to wear it. She wore that tight red dress for you. So call her out on it. That's a really sexy red dress. Like, don't be like, oh, you look pretty. You look beautiful. No, like, say something like your figure is beautiful in that red dress. Damn. Like, it's show your sexuality, show your masculinity. This is where I want you guys to like just do, because this is so important. Like, this is what sticks out from all the other guys. You know, this is what makes you, I mean, this is what got me to commit to my fiance. You know, it's like he did not hold back. And I was like, damn, every time he did it. You know, this is what gets you out of that bunch of the men that can't create something. Because remember, like I said, women don't know what they want. Women know what they want existing on how that man makes them feel and directs them and leads them and all that stuff. Okay, so now let's get into the do's, and then I'm going to do some Q&As. But before we get into some do's, let me take a sip of water. Usually I would edit that out on a YouTube video. All right, so do's. Make her sexually attracted to you first, like I already said. So before you show feelings, make her sexually attracted to you, escalate with her. There's this little, I'm going to give you guys some 2 things that you can do on your dates, like 2 or 3 things, in second or third date, excuse me. One of the biggest things to bring in physical touch is when you're on a date is I remember a long time ago, a guy did this on me and he was like, let me see your palm. I'm going to do a palm reading on you. And he did a palm reading on me, made up a crock of you know what. And I was like, really? I'm going to have 2 kids? How do you know that? Like, this gets women intrigued. And you make it all up. And then after you do it, you literally look at her and be like, that was just my excuse to touch your hand. They're really soft. You know, like, own that. Like, that's how you create that sexual presence, that sexual chemistry, and that shows you're creating that feeling for that woman. Now she's deciding, oh, like, he has guts. Like, that was actually kind of sexy, that he was so confident within himself that he was able to do that, like something like that. All right. And then also too, another good tip that I want you to understand is what a lot of men tend to do is they overcompensate in the time of silence, right, on their dates. So they're like, okay, so let me explain. Okay, so we're on a date and you guys have been talking, everything's going great, and then there's that awkward silence where you're like, okay, should I ask her a question or what do I do? This is really weird. We've been silent and we're just staring at each other. And then you're like, what is your mom's name? You know, and you try to fill in that silence. And that's where it shows insecurity. And this is where that's why I always say be chill. Instead, what I want you to do the next time that there's an awkward moment of silence is I just want you to sit back, cross your arms, look at her, and then just kind of like, and smile. and give her that eye contact, like, you're sexy, you're cute, like that type of thing, and be okay with that silence. That little thing creates that sexual energy, that sexual tension. And then if you guys start flirting and you guys are back and you guys are face to face on a date, on like sitting down on a dinner table or whatever the case may be, come over there and play that palm reading game with her. Sit by her, get closer to her and say, let me read your palm. I'm actually a palm reading expert. Let's see. Would you like me to read your palm? And come over there and sit next to her. This is how you create that moment, guys. The perfect moment is never going to happen. You create it. And I talk a lot about this in my escalation cheat sheet. And you guys know me. If for some of you here, you've been following me for a very long time. And I don't give the bullshit like responses. Like I literally give you the insides of what women really think and want and how to sexually escalate as a man. And I give you the missing pieces that I never received when I was out there dating guys and that never got them to commit, that I never committed to. So it's really important that I share this stuff with you and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? So also too, the do that I want you to do and how you start expressing feelings is you want to believe in yourself and you want to believe in the courting process, right? So a lot of times women always a lot of times women complain about one thing is when a guy asks them for out on a date, they don't plan it or take the lead and they don't take things to the next level. Well, I just kind of told you how to start taking things to the next level, but then they don't plan it. They're like, okay, yeah, let's go to dinner at 7:00 on Saturday. Where would you like to go? Like women don't want that. Like either say, I know of this good restaurant. What do you like to eat? Are you vegan or do you like steak? Blah, 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 blah. And usually it's like, all right, cool. I know of this really good steakhouse. See you on Saturday at 7 p.m. Don't ask, tell, okay? Deliver. That's what women want. And bring forth your masculine energy towards the shit test, right? So women will always try to shit test you no matter what. It's just in our genetics. And literally, this is the way we figure out what you're all about, if you're secure and if you're confident. So if there's ever a time where she's like, you feel like she's shit testing you, I want you to remember this one thing. What would you say if it was your friend asking that question and you weren't trying to impress her? And answer it that way. Okay. That's what you got to do, guys. Like you just got to take back and be like, you're here. And a lot of men think like, I got to be respectful. I got to be this guy. And a lot of men that think this way, they are respectful already. It's in their genes. It's already inherited. I never want you to be a disrespectful guy. I want you to be that high value man that respects women, but also comes from dignity and pride and knows how to say peace to the wrong women and hello to the good ones, right? So the thing about this is men that were taught maybe younger to just continue to respect women and do this and do that. They go into dates thinking, okay, I got to show her that I'm a respectable guy. I got to show her this. So then when they go into the dates thinking this, they hold back on what they want to say. They hold back saying, damn, you look sexy in that red dress. No, but instead is you look beautiful in the red dress. No, a girl wants to be called sexy. A girl wants that drive, guys. Like girls want that emotion from you. So don't hide your sexuality or your masculinity just because you want to respect a woman. Respecting a woman comes naturally if you're already a respectable guy. What you have to hyper focus on are the qualities that you're not good on or good at. And that's probably being direct or being assertive, whatever the case may be. So now let's go into another one is a woman wants you to take risk and take things to the next level, even if it means that you'll be rejected by her. Okay. So let's just say that you're like, all right, I want you to start making out and you're like getting deep into it. And then she rejects you because she's like, I don't want to go too fast. Okay. That doesn't mean you give up. Continue to pursue her. You know, a woman wants a guy that continues to take a risk on her and tries to take things to the next level, even if she rejects him. Now, let me give you the other side. When a woman's like, I'm not ready for anything. And, I'm not too sure this is really what I want from you, or if I really like you, or I just don't feel it with you. When she says this, then you disconnect and you take back. But what I'm saying here is when a woman, she wants to see that you're still going to take a risk, right? Because a man that takes risk is a man that's confident. A man that takes risk is a man that's holds himself with pride and dignity. And a man that takes risk is a one that goes after exactly what he wants. And that shows security. It shows stableness. It shows groundness, shows masculinity, which the feminine is already attracted to, guys. All right. So That's another thing. 2 more things, and then I'm going to go into some Q&As because there's so much comments going on in this live chat, and thank you guys for that. I'm hyper focused on just delivering this message to you. So the next thing is take your time and don't behave like you're trying to get into a serious relationship right away. She wants a challenge too. Women want a challenge too, guys. Okay? Because if you don't challenge her, then she's not going to take the bait. Let me say that again. If you don't challenge her, she's not going to take the bait. You got to take your time. This is how you challenge her. You've got to show you're a man of status. You're a man of resources. Taking your time means that you aren't hyper focused on her right now. She isn't your first person. She is not your priority, but she can be your priority because you court her, you plan things, you're direct with her, you tell her she's sexy, you state the restaurant that you guys are going to go to, but yet you take your time and you behave as though you're not trying to get into a serious relationship with her right away. And this is not a game. I don't ever want a man to ever in a million years, ever meet a woman and act as though he needs to be in a serious relationship with her. Why? Because you don't know this woman yet. You don't know what she can offer you. You don't know anything about her. You don't know if she's a liar. You don't know if she's out there like trying to use you for your money. You don't know. There's good women out there and there's bad women out there, guys. And I get it. And this is what I talk about in my workshop. I talk about the 3 different types of women out there and how to identify them if you want to either be in a relationship, sleep with them, whatever the case may be, right? I want you to cultivate these healthy relationships though, for yourself and for others. So that's so important. All right. So now that I've talked about that, one of the things that I want to mention too is if this is something that draws to you, if this is something that you struggle with, if this is something you need more clarity in, not only do I have my private coaching sessions, but I really encourage you guys to sign up for my boot camps. My next boot camp is in New York City. I put it here in the links, and my next boot camp is in LA. And this is some private one-on-one 4-hour intense coaching with me. And there's a structural environment where we actually follow everything, the mind of a woman, everything, and all the details are in there. I don't want to take too much of that live talking about it, but if you want results, go to that boot camp. If you want understanding, go to that boot camp. That stuff is not stuff I talk about in my videos. This is stuff that is only talked about in my boot camps. So does anybody have any questions, comments, remarks in regards to how and when to show feelings after I gave you the advice and the do's and don'ts on what to say? When is the LA workshop? The LA workshop is September 14th. All right, I'm going in the comment section and going to answer some of your questions. So this is good. Harvey asked, how do you be assertive without sounding conceited or arrogant? I actually made a video about that. But one of the tips that I'll give you here, and I really encourage you to watch that video that I have on my YouTube channel. One of the ways that you do this is when you become assertive, remember, assertive means you're open to dialogue. Aggressive means debate. Right? Aggressiveness means you're debating. Assertiveness means that you're open to dialogue. Think of it like that. That's how you know the difference. Arrogant means it's about me, I, and I am just here for me, myself, and I. Narcissistic tendencies, right? That's the difference. All right. Is it good to have your best friend as a life partner? Yeah, I mean, there's so many relationships that come out of friendships. And that's why I've created a product about Friendzone No More. So, and I'll start talking about it now. So I've created a product called Friendzone No More. And that's why I'm doing this live today. Well, part of why I'm doing this live is because I want to tell you guys about it. This Friendzone product is called Friendzone No More to Master Attractor. And this is a product that I'm created for men that want to master their attraction skills, not ever fall into the friend zone, or the guy that always falls into the friend zone, or the guy that wants to get out of the friend zone and get in that relationship right now with a woman. It's over 2 hours worth of content. I give you my escalation cheat sheet, my how to text manual. I mean, everything in there. It's not released yet. I'm releasing it in 2 weeks, but this link right now gives you the opportunity, and only in this live I'm doing this, to give you 50% off of this product. This product is going to be a game changer in your life, guys. It took me a good 3 to 4 months to prepare this because I really wanted you guys to do this and get results. So this is the link. I want you to go here to that link, fill out the form, put your name and address, and I will email you when the product's released for the 50% off discount, only for the people that are on that sheet there. So after this live, go to there and I will give that to you for 50% off if you're interested. And also I will send you details about it. All right, so Apollonia, how to get her interested back after she got angry and is in no contact. We just started flirting. So go with the flow. So Noisky asked this question. Right now, you just got to go with the flow, guys. You have to really just put yourself in a place where you are composed. You're not trying to impress her just because she got mad at you. Whatever she got mad at you about, like, maybe don't do it again if it was something that you probably should have not done. And I want you to flirt with her. But what I don't want you to do is to push something on her. Like, I want to see you tonight. Let's do this. Like, flirt with her and get her to crave more. Create that, what I call like the crock pot, right? Energy. Or let's think of it like a balloon, right? So you want to create this again. Think of a balloon that's there's no more air in this balloon right now. That's where you are. And now you're flirting and it's getting more air, more air, more air, more air. You want to entice her. You want to escalate. You want to flirt. You want to build that chemistry. You want to sexually escalate before, and then get that balloon so full where it pops because she wants to hang out with you. Think of it like that. Create that moment. Okay. Create that again and start reattracting her back. I was raised to never compliment a woman. Why is that? Thrill asked, I was raised to never compliment a woman. Why is that? I'll be honest, like, for me as a woman, I love compliments. A woman, I don't think, could ever be sick of hearing that she's beautiful, but it all depends on like what you're trying to get from that woman, right? So it's about like complimenting a woman when she's ready to hear it from you, like when you've created that, I think, for you. Because what happens is when men are kind of like emotionally shut off or from compliments, or emotionally not ready to be open and things like that, or haven't been taught this, maybe because this is what's just not something they grew up with. What happens is when they start to get in a relationship with a woman, the woman wants that emotional like feeling from the woman, the words of affirmation. The words of affirmation, the feeling that she's enough for him. And that means like, you're so sexy, you're so beautiful, but not to overly do it. Like, maybe I would say maybe once or twice a month, tell your woman this, so she knows that those words really mean business when you mean it. Because when you say you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, they have nothing behind it after a while. You know what I mean? So I think that's a good answer to your question and I hope it was, and hope and clarified for you. Does these same concepts apply to getting back an ex? Yeah, definitely. Reattraction is part of getting someone back, you know. I have a client, I don't know if he's watching live, but of course I'm not going to say his name. He is going through a marriage, and he actually hired a coach to help him. Like, he spent a really big amount of money to hire a coach through his marriage. And I challenge my clients. Here's the thing is, like, it's not easy. Like, I literally challenge you because I know what I'm doing. And either you have the opportunity to step away and not do it because you're not ready, or you have an opportunity to get in work and get results, right? So this client hires a counselor, I think it was a marriage counselor, and tells him to do exactly the opposite of what I'm telling him to do. And literally the marriage is now becoming something more. And the woman is like, why couldn't you do this when we were married? We would have stayed together. And now he's re-attracting her, right? So this is part of attraction. Attraction is infinite in relationships and marriages. You always have to have attraction. This is what dies down. Like, this is why sometimes people get divorces, because they're not attracted to their partner anymore. And that's why there's so many different matrix of attraction. Of course, there's dating. And that's why I do all of these videos. I talk about attraction in marriages, attraction in 5-year relationships, attraction in like that 3-year mark, attraction when you're dating, when you like a woman, things like that. So, all right. So can you ever talk about reconciling with wife strategies? Yeah, I actually will. I'll do a video like that. Thanks for the idea. Girl blocked me on WhatsApp, but I still unlocked her Facebook. Okay, I don't know. All right, guys, I'm going to go into some of these questions. Sorry, here, let me just report this person that's spamming. Unwanted comments. Okay, so I can see. What to do when she is totally invested in their work and not looking for anything at the moment. Okay, so when a woman is totally invested in her work and not looking for anything, here's what I say, guys. Mirror her. Mirror the shit out of what she's doing to you. You be invested in your work, and if she's not looking at it for anything, then you're not convinced. Either one, you're not convincing her good enough. Like, you're not convincing her that you're either the guy for her, and I don't want you to take any offense to that. I just want you to understand that there could be some points of the attraction that was done wrong. So in this live, I gave you a lot of tips. I want you to kind of get some clarity on what, maybe if there was anything that you possibly did wrong here, then try to do it the right way and reattract her. If that doesn't work, then I would say no more. Don't waste your time or energy to a woman that's not ready to give you something more. That's all. Move on, because there will be a woman that is. How to be more confident. I have a Master Your Confidence audio seminar that's over an hour of content and 6-part series of work to help you master your confidence and how to become more confident. And I actually give you some inside details on what women want. Go to my product page on my website. I would really encourage you to do that. I met a girl, we dated for a month, but now she is in long distance and we seem to be distant, like less conversation, etc. Any tips? Should go no contact. Okay, so this happens a lot in long distance relationships where you become less and less you have less conversations, and the reason being is because sometimes it can get boring, right? You just want to see that person. The attraction is diminishing. Things are just dying down. So my 2 tips for you, if this is happening, is to plan to go see her. Plan a vacation, to meet somewhere, to do something, like plan something as quick as possible. And then number 2 is spark that sexuality in you, right? So like that, I want you to like distance yourself for a little bit, maybe like a day or 2, but I don't want you to be like not communicating with her if she reaches out, and then you're going to be in deeper trouble if you're in a relationship, right? But I want you to kind of like show some status here and there. And what I mean by that is like you're out with the boys and you're like, oh yeah, you can call me in an hour, I'll be free, but you really are out with the boys, right? And then you're like, oh yeah, honey, we're here, blah, 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 we're having fun, and you're looking sharp as hell. And now she's like, oh my God, what is he up to? Like, why is he out with his boys? He said it was just last minute. I'm going to call you back when I get home. Like, I want her to see that approach with you. And this is kind of that's going to stir things up a little bit and respark the attraction. Remember, long distance relationships involve a lot of participation in different ways. And that's part of it, right? And communication, and a communication of your intent of why you're in the long distance relationship, but also the both of you have an outcome. So a lot of times when you're in relationships, what I don't want to happen is you not have an outcome. You're in this long distance relationship just to be in a relationship. No, we're in this relationship to see for the first 2 years how it goes. And if it goes well, I'm moving to Florida and she's moving here. I'm moving to Florida and and I'm leaving New York. Like, there has to be an end goal. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to take one more question. Thanks for answering the question. You're welcome. Spouse stops intimacy for 3 years because my lack of backbone and being too clingy. But when I stand, she resists and separate. Yeah. Okay. The reason why she resists and separates from you is because it's not normal, right? You got to pace yourself and do little things at a time. Erin, book a session with me. I would suggest an hour, and I'm going to give you a step-by-step action plan of what you need to do to get your wife to see you in a different light. I do this all the time with men. And this is actually something I really enjoy, to be honest with you. And because I know how to do this. How often should I text her? Okay, so let me get to one of the questions, and that's in my How to Text manual if you want to know in regards to text messages. All right, guys. Woman tells me maybe we should be doing something when she turns from a work trip. Do I wait for her to call? Woman tells me maybe we should do something when she returns from a work trip. Do I wait for her to call? No, just pursue her. Hi, Nelson. Just pursue her. after the work trip, right? So after the work trip, like wait a couple of minutes, wait a couple of weeks and then just be like, hey, so are you back from the work trip? How was it? I was thinking about this cool place on, Biscayne Drive, whatever. And it's a steakhouse that I've been wanting to try. Are you down to do this maybe on Saturday? And that is really, really important to, kind of initiate. And that was one of the points that I talked about is like women want to see a man that takes risks and take things to the next level. And even if that means rejection. So pursue her because women want to be pursued and they want to be courted, but just figure out like, don't over pursue her. All right, guys. So again, now I'm going back to this. One of the biggest things I want to reiterate here is, I want you guys to get the opportunity to get this Friendzone No More product that I'm offering you. And it's going to be here in the comments. Sign up for it. I'm giving you it only on this live for 50% off. It'll be ready next week, within 2 weeks, actually. But hopefully by next week. And the people that are on this list are only going to get this for 50% off. It's regularly priced at $297. It's over 2 hours of content with me. This is for the man that wants to learn how to reattract a woman, get out of friend zone, never get in friend zone, or even master your attraction. It's for all of that. You get my escalation cheat sheet, how to text manual, everything in there. This is all of what you're going to need, guys, when it comes to your mindset. I even go over the woman's mindset of why she puts you in the friend zone and what goes in her head, goes on in her head. And now I've been talking so much, my throat is hurting. I've been on calls all day. I have some really good things cooking for you guys. I'm possibly bringing on another female coach very soon, another male coach to help you guys and do some pickup and stuff like that I really, really love. And I also don't talk about this a lot. If you are in the Miami area or in the Florida area, I do makeover sessions with clients, and they do in-field coaching. I do in-field coaching with them where they do a day makeover. And I'm going to be sending out an email on that and a video that I've created for you guys. And I should be sending that out by the end of this month so you guys can see that. It'll be posted on my YouTube channel. Really fun. I'm going to take one more question before I leave. Apollonia, can you make a video on how to break no contact for short-term relationships? Yeah, I mean, I can. Here's the thing is I don't really talk a lot about exes and how to get your ex back and stuff like that, because I really feel like attraction is really the biggest thing in regards to anything. So if there's a title on how to get your ex back, it really has to do with attraction, guys, but I can do something in regards to, I can think about doing something in regards to no contact, but in regards to attraction, right? So when to break it, if you are trying to attract a woman, I did one about this, last week is when no contact is not a good idea or something like that. And when it comes to attraction. So I really encourage you to watch that video for that person that asked me that. Can you do a video about first text openers? Sure, but I have a manual called How to Text Manual, and I'd have that on there. I have some videos on long distance relationship, guys, and should a man pay on a first date? I have a video about that too, guys. I literally create so much self-coaching content for you guys, and that's another thing I want to be very open and clear with you guys about something. And here it is. I create a lot of videos for you guys to kind of self-coach yourself, but relationships are very different. Okay. Every person's relationship is different from the person before or the person that is watching this video. And it can be taken with the context that I'm giving or not. So because of that, I try to create so many videos so you can tailor it to your relationship and be able to do that self-coaching. But if you're really wanting to get tailored advice for your specific situation, that's why I always encourage you guys to do one-on-one coaching with me. You'll get significant results. I've coached over 5,000 clients, and I know what I'm doing, guys. I'm not just a woman coach, or else you wouldn't be following me with saying, oh, women want to be respected, women want this, women want that. No, like I'm literally telling you like how to attract a woman the right way and what women don't really do. So with that, and the reason why I bring this up is because when I coach men, what I do is I try to get in the mind of that woman that they're dating, right? Or in a relationship or their wife. And I give them feedback based on that. And that's completely something that I've never seen before and any other coach be able to do. And that's something I can do because I am a woman, right? And I'm not going to be shooting some BS stuff to you. I'm literally going to try to get you the max results that I can. But what happens a lot in YouTube content is people think that, okay, my situation, this is happening, so I'm going to listen to this video, and it's not even my videos, it's anybody's video out there, and this is what I should do. I should just go into no contact. No, but you probably shouldn't go into no contact if you messed up or if you cheated or if you were emotionally unavailable. That's not that. You don't want to do those things. So it's really important for you to just take bits and pieces and really be smart about it and tailor it to your situation, or do a coaching call. Thank you, Brandon. Oh, I booked a session with her. She's legit. Thank you, Brandon. I remember you. I appreciate that support. All right. I love doing lives, guys, and it's so hard for me. Yes, I do one-on-one coaching, guys. It's in my private coaching page on apolloniaponti.com. I have so much good stuff rolling out for you guys. I cannot wait to show you guys and present all of this stuff for you behind the works of what's going on. I know some people are out there that can't afford a coaching session, and that's okay. And that's why I've definitely I'm building something for you guys to get that support. I'm also doing some collaborations with a lot of coaches that you guys might know, and only with, it's really important that I stick with the people that I really agree with and their word and what their message is. And yeah, I love doing lives, and it's really hard for me to get off, but I am going to give you one more link in regards to this Friendzone product. You guys, if you are interested, I encourage you to sign up right here. Here's the form for the Friendzone product that I created called Friendzone No More to Master Attractor. And if you sign up for this, you get 50% off, guys. This is only for this live. I might do it one more time and offer it. This is really, really important because this is going to help you with your attraction skills and boost that and not be in the friend zone anymore. Someone asked for, how do I book a coaching session? I'm going to put the coaching link here right there for you guys, so you can have that there. That's how you book a coaching session. I am so happy that all of you took the time out of your busy day to join this. I hope I was able to give you some really good feedback, some really good content on how to show feelings to a woman. Guys, I don't know if you feel this from me, but I do this from my heart. I just want you guys to know and freaking know how women act and what they want from you, so it becomes easier for you and you end up getting the relationship and the love that you want. And that's really what drives me every single day. So I'll see you guys next time on a new video. I'll do a new live. If you're part of my email list, I will notify you when that new live is, or follow me on Instagram at Apollonia_Ponti, and you will be notified as well there. Love you guys. Remember, you are always loved. Bye, guys. Have a good one.